Thank you, Brian and Aaron, and hello, everyone. Over the next 3 nights, there's at least one new series at 10 p.m. worth checking out. Our pick for tonight is Damien, the long-anticipated adaptation of The Omen. It was 40 years ago that the story of an Antichrist child raised by Gregory Peck and Lee Remick terrorized audiences at the movies. Bradley James plays the iconic title character, all grown up now, and perhaps no less demonic. A word of caution, some of the scenes you're about to see are intense and graphic.
I imagine you don't remember much. That'll change. The past is like a noose around our necks, wouldn't you say?
Come to your life.
The beast. False Messiah. Described in Revelation. He will become a tyrant like the world has never seen, plunging it into darkness. 666. Does that mean anything to you? You must accept Christ as your savior.
What are you saying?
I know exactly who you are, Mr. Thorne. The devil has many names, identified by his number. 666. Does that mean anything to you?
As you just saw, A&E launches this series after the season debut of Bates Motel. Executive producer Glenn Mazzara, who earlier oversaw The Shield and The Walking Dead, will be my guest on a special Tomorrow Be Televised episode tomorrow afternoon, live at 3 p.m. on Blog Talk Radio. Back in 1963, CBS offered The Great Adventure, an anthology series depicting notable mileposts in American history, a different one each week. Several episodes can be seen on YouTube, one being Go Down Moses, starring Ruby Dee as Harriet Tubman, the leader of the Underground Railroad, the effort to lead slaves in the southern United States to freedom up north. This is an amazing slice of Americana that up to this point hasn't been given a full dramatic treatment on the tube since that episode. The wait ends Wednesday night when WGN America launches Underground. Finally, this great escape gets what many critics in advance are calling a great treatment.
I've been a slave all my life, waiting to die, to live, or for a miracle. But I'm done waiting.
20 years. I've been the master of this plantation, and I've not had one runaway.
Mama, you ever think about another life?
I've imagined thousands of different lives.
The plan is simple. We got to get a group of us together. We figure a way off of Master's land. We protect each other, find a strength in numbers, because look here, when we run, ain't no white man gonna be able to stop us.
You a troublemaker, and you got the itch. You planning something.
I need to know now who's in, who's out.
I know you was planning to run.
But he's scared.
I own you!
We have to go now.
Just because we might know the way don't mean that we gonna get there. It's over 600 miles.
We gonna have to fight for every step.
You seen any runaways around here?
You know I wouldn't tell you if I had.
So now we're getting white folks involved in this mess, too.
We can make a real difference.
Help me.
Only thing hated more than a runaway slave is those that were there aided.
Run!
I gotta do what I gotta do. That's what my face, back in my face. I gotta do what I gotta do. I pray to God, he never came. I'ma do me, I'ma do me. That's in my blood, I'll never change. This is the toast of the underdogs. Now we doing it our way.
You
You want to go back? Then go. I ain't ready to give up yet. My plan works.
Funny thing about plans, they always changing.
Set a fire to it for my amusement.
Do whatever it takes to get her free.
We have to protect our cargo.
This is the toast of the underdogs. Now we doing it our way.
I want to be counted. It's our hands that built this country. Our blood that's running through the heart of it.
Ain't no going back. Not for any of us.
Light 'em up, light 'em up. Light 'em up, light 'em up.
Welcome to the underground.
Grammy-winning superstar John Legend and Oscar-winning producer Akiva Goldsman from A Beautiful Mind are among the executive producers, with the cast you just saw led by Journey Smollett-Bell, Aldous Hodge, Jessica DeGrow, and Christopher Maloney. Underground debuts Wednesday at 10 on WGN America, and it comes with huge buzz off a special screening at the White House 2 weeks ago. Breaking news, we may have on Tomorrow Be Televised today the creators of Underground. We're waiting for word about that as we speak. In between Damien and Underground is Of Kings and Prophets, ABC's biblical drama about the life of David, which originally was planned to launch last fall. Production problems forced ABC to delay the premiere and bring in executive producer Chris Brancato, coming off the raves for the first season of Narcos on Netflix last summer. Branco will be on Tomorrow Be Televised this afternoon, again 3 p.m. on Blog Talk Radio. And going back to both of you, Brian and Aaron, we say goodbye to Downton Abbey after 6 years on PBS. Yeah. And hello, starting today to production on Brain Dead, the new series from the creators of The Good Wife. It's all about a Washington, D.C. employee who gets into Capitol Hill and finds that some of the Congress folks are not what they seem to be because some aliens have taken over their minds. And the production starts today here in New York.
That would explain this election cycle.
Maybe it explains what's happening now with the gridlock in Washington.
You said Downton Abbey. I had to plug my ears. You didn't say spoiler alert first, but I haven't watched it, so not too much on that. But our favorite show
The
that
Good
we
Wife,
co-share
The Good
together.
Wife, yes.
So that's their new thing.
Yep, Michelle and Robert King, they're doing it, and they decided to do it here in New York, coming off the success they had with The Good Wife, which was on last night on CBS, wrapping up its season later this spring. And there's a lot of good buzz about it, and they've got a very good cast, I understand, involved in putting the show together.
So they're doing sci-fi now?
It's like semi-sci-fi satire. I think they're like trying to do a little dig on Washington, on the Washington political scene, sort of alien style.
CBS again?
CBS this summer.
Okay.
One of several new shows they're doing. Another one's American Gothic that'll be coming out too.
Summer series.
Now, can you also just tell me a little bit about WGN as well? I was asking you a little bit earlier.
America.
You know,
America.
it's just
Superstation.
Yes, it was the former Chicago Superstation that carried nationally the signal of WGN in Chicago.
Yeah.
But when Tribune Media picked it up, they decided that they were going to turn it into a basic cable channel, which they started doing 2 years ago. And they introduced original dramatic programming Salem from Brannon Braga, which is going to its third season later this spring. Then came Manhattan, which won critical raves, ran 2 years. Unfortunately, was canceled in a very close call because of low ratings. And then had Outsiders, which premiered earlier this year, getting great reviews. It's their highest rated show so far, and now it's Underground. And it is getting, and WGN is now in 80 million homes. And this is, I think, the show that very well could put GN America on the map to stay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right,
I have to say it. I have to say it. I'm going to be tuning in on Wednesday.
You remember, Aaron, last week we talked about the upfronts? Well, last week we had the first upfronts. We had Nickelodeon. They're going to be launching 16 new series this year, and the first one is this Saturday night, School of Rock, based on the Jack Black movie. They had the band in a film clip. They look great. It's fun and funky music, very interesting plot. They have a Jack Black type character, and that's going to be starting Saturday at 9:30 on Nickelodeon. And then on Thursday, they had what's going on with TV Land and with Country Music Television CMT. TV Land's next new show is Lopez. George Lopez coming back. He had a bomb show with St. George. He's coming back March 30th. Some of the Silicon Valley producers are involved in making the show. It's sort of a mockumentary look at George and his life and trying to get on the comeback trail, if you will, in Hollywood. And also, they've got a pilot in the works based on the movie The First Wives Club.
Okay. Now, I don't know what you were doing this weekend, but I did have to sort of isolate myself for a little while with my Netflix account to check out House of Cards. I haven't finished it just yet, but how's House of Cards doing? Do they have statistics for how many people?
Well, we may very soon get stats, because even though Netflix does not like releasing ratings, ComScore, which just merged with Rentrack, is pledging that they will release the stats of stream services like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon. So we may start to get the first sign about how. But I can tell you that House of Cards, I believe, has already been renewed for another season. Wow. Kevin Spacey has been all over the TV dial with interviews.
Season five, yeah.
His latest series also, he did for CNN, Race to the White House, premiered last night after the Bernie Sanders Hillary Clinton debate out of Flint, Michigan. Yeah. And of course, Spacey is now working on as being one of the co-heads of Relatively Media. So we need to see whether he does any film and TV projects out of that. But the show is picking up where it left off, and now Frank Underwood is as devious as ever, and Spacey is just all over the place.
I've not seen one moment of House of Cards, and people say, "Oh, you'll love it," but I haven't. Well, there's a certain producer in our ear who spent her whole weekend squandered it.
That's exactly what I wanted to do. I had to go out and do
House of Cards all the way through. But I'm super excited that tonight is the premiere of RuPaul's Drag Race. Their 100th episode, the best reality show that you're probably not watching, reality competition. Hopefully they'll get some Emmy love this year. Yeah. I think they've been sorely overlooked.
And we should point out Wednesday is the finale of the second season of American Crime, which is on the bubble. Last week, the new head of ABC, yes. Absolutely.
It's been genius.
It's genius. It's brilliant. It is, I think, far and away better than season one. Incredible work done by the entire cast. Connor Stewart, I think, is going to be Best Supporting Actor Emmy nominee. He's one of the finds of the year. And last week, and why it's on the bubble is because last week, the new head of ABC renewed 15 shows. Yeah. The only new show that she has renewed so far is Quantico, which came back last night and did not do well.
Really?
One of the problems ABC is having is that with some of their scripted shows, including the Shonda Rhimes shows on Thursday nights, they gave them a 3-month leave of absence, and that has really come back to hurt the shows. Yeah. Quantico is a similar thing, came back last night, and after the debut of The Family, which unfortunately also is, as one critic called it, DOA on arrival in the ratings, Quantico turned down. But it did get renewed. Okay. And also, all the Shonda Rhimes shows got renewed. Blackish got renewed, fresh off the boat.
Scandal's coming back?
Scandal's coming back. And also, there were some surprise renewals. Once Upon a Time, which has also been plunging the ratings on Sunday nights, that is coming back, just celebrated 100 episodes. And one of my big surprises, Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which continues to just plunge in the ratings and kill ABC on Tuesday night. That's also coming back. What we don't know again is American Crime. There's Of Kings and Prophets, of course, is launching Tuesday nights. We don't know what that's going to happen. The Family. We also have the new show that Chandra's doing with Morel Enos of The Killing. And
Killing like that.
The guy from Peter Krause from 6 Feet Under. What was it? The Clash? Not the Clash, I think it is, or the Catch. Excuse me, The Catch. That's premiering soon, and we'll see how that does. A lot of good buzz about that show. But it's very interesting how ABC is trying to position renewing as many fall new shows for the fall as new shows as possible for the fall. But not many new shows for this year, but a lot of their key shows from all over the schedule.
Now, before we get out of here, can you remind our guests who you will have on your show this week and possibly?
Well, as I said, Chris Brancato is going to be on the show from The Kings and Prophets, the executive producer who did Narcos. We hope to have the creators of Manhattan. Tomorrow, Glenn Mazzara from The Shield. And on Friday, we will have one of the producers of School of Rock. It's a brother Ackler, one of the brothers involved. We're also going to showcase a Lifetime miniseries coming out next week called And Then There Were None, based on the classic Agatha Christie novel. We've got the writer who will join us live from England. She did The Casual Vacancy, the J.K. Rowling adaptation that was on HBO last spring. Right. We had the director, Johnny Campbell, was on our show, so now we're going to have the writer, and I've heard a lot of good things about this Lifetime miniseries. One of the great classic novels, And Then There Were None, made into film, 1940s movie with Louis Hayward, the 1960s film Ten Little Indians, but this is the first time it's been done in miniseries format. If you've never seen And Then There Were None, it's a fun mystery novel.
Looking forward to tune in.
And once again, go down Moses, see that from the Great Adventure series. You can see that on YouTube.
All right. The late greats.
Ruby D.
Yeah.
And Brock Peters. Great performances.
All right. Well, tomorrow on BK Live, you'll meet a 65-year-old former bank employee who's turned himself into a DJ, and check this out, Brian, he's getting gigs. Plus, a young woman who uses found objects to make doll houses. And in fact, she did just that while we were there and our cameras were rolling.
And to tell us about their latest stage project, we'll introduce you to the artistic director of the Theater Reconstruction Ensemble, who likes to take famous plays, pull them apart, throw in something from a novel or a movie, and come up with something new, strange, and funny.
Well, that could almost describe the kind of stories we do right here at BRIC TV. And as long as you add thoughtful and serious, well, at least sometimes. It's all there on our BRIC TV YouTube channel. So please, please, please feel free to check it out. That's all for today. Have a good one.
Bye now.